That girl loved her meat, white, red, didn't matter, long as she had herself a big old platter. But one day as she's about to take a bite, her two friends look on in such a fright. Please, 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 don't eat the meat. That right there is our family. She felt bad and sad, then decided to read. Yeah, V-E-G-A-N, yeah, yeah. Vegan. That's what she decided to be, and her friends were so happy. She went from wings to weeds. Wings to weeds, yeah. Wings to weeds. Wings to weeds.
Hey, welcome to Wings to Weeds. I'm your host, Christine Horn. Welcome back. Thank you to all my new subscribers out there. I appreciate you watching. Today we are going to make some okra. Do you like okra? I love okra. I can eat it boiled, roasted, you name it, doesn't matter. But today we're going to give it a little extra flavor today. I don't even know what to call it. We're just going to call it Okra Christine style. How about that? Version 1. Because I eat it a bunch of different ways. Today what you'll need is some okra. I'm using some frozen cut okra. I used 2 bags of these, but if you have some fresh okra, even better. I couldn't find any fresh today, so we're going with the frozen. You'll need about a cup of chopped tomatoes. I happen to be using like grape tomatoes, but if I had a Roma tomato or vine ripened, doesn't matter. Use that. You're going to need a cup of chopped onions. You'll need about a teaspoon of chopped ginger. And that's what you need for your like food ingredients. Now for seasonings, what I'm using today is cumin, using some paprika, some curry powder, any kind will do today, some black pepper, sea salt, and chili powder. So that's what we're working with. Now, what I've done prior to this, you want to preheat your stove to about 400, 450. You're gonna lay your okra on the pan in the oven. Let that roast, because we want to just let it cook almost all the way through in the oven, just to save us time on the stove top. Because as you know, if you're not really an okra fan, or even if you are, okra can get kind of slimy, which I don't mind, but for this dish, we're going for less slime. How about that? So you're going to roast this in your oven for about 15-20 minutes. You'll be able to touch it, and when it kind of gets soft, it's almost done, take it out, because it can finish cooking in the nice stew we're going to make for it. So let's go over to the stove. Okay, let's get started. Of course, I missed one tiny ingredient, and that's some EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. So let's start with the medium to high heat. And we're going to pour about, let me get my spoon. We're going to pour about a tablespoon of oil. Let's do 2 tablespoons of oil. Let that heat up for a second. Okay, while your oil's heating up, we're gonna use about a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Whole cumin seeds, not cumin, however you say it. I actually used about a tablespoon, guys, so a tablespoon of cumin seeds. Have you seen what they look like? Can you see those pretty close? It's hard to see in my brown hand, huh? But we're going to let those heat up first. Anytime you're using cumin, you want to let that heat up first so that the flavor can get released. So just kind of stir that around. Now grab your onions that are on standby. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. That cumin is nicely sauteing in the pan. Now we're going to add our onions. I'm using about a cup, a little over a cup. Nice hefty cup there, as you can see. Time to throw that in. Stir that around. Let's drop our heat down to about a medium. Let's cover that up. So we're going to cook our onions so they're a little bit done. We don't want them too brown, but just so they get a little translucent and a little soft. And after we do that, we're going to add our ingredients, our dry rub. Alright, it's been about just a minute or so. Those onions are looking very nice. So now let's add our seasonings. Now you can totally adjust these seasonings based on your spice level or your tolerance just in general. So I'm going to get, so let's start with our curry. I'm going to use about a teaspoon, almost 2 teaspoons of curry. Got my chili powder. Ooh, where's the camera? There we go. I'm going to use a teaspoon and a half of chili powder. Now we've got our paprika. I'm going to use 3/4 tablespoon of paprika. I'm going to use 5 shakes of black pepper. Let's see, and I'll do a pinch of, where's my camera? There we go, pinch of sea salt. Now let's stir this around. It's going to look very dry in the pan, but that's how it should look. Wow, Christine, do not sniff the chili powder. What is wrong with me? Okay, now that you've got that stirred and it just looks super dry, let's add a little water. I'm going to add a cup of water. And also remember those tomatoes we have? Let's throw those in there. And that teaspoon of ginger chopped, let's throw that in there. Now this ginger is going to give it a nice kick, so if you really like ginger, use more, and if you don't like it so much, don't use it at all, or just use a lot less. So that's like our sauce getting ready right there. You can always taste it to see where it's headed. Like I think that needs, for me, I think that needs some garlic. Now, if you don't like garlic, don't use garlic. Use maybe some more sea salt or just a dried herb. But I'm going to throw in a little garlic salt. Not too much. Just a little. That was maybe, 3 shakes right there. And you know what? I'm going to sprinkle in maybe about a half a teaspoon more of curry powder. I love curry. So what we want to do, stir that around. Doesn't that look delicious? Let's stir that around. Let's cover it and let that come to a boil until those tomatoes can cook down. Okay. That is looking good and smelling good. Now, you should have taken your okra out of the oven by now if you've had it cooking for about 15 minutes. And this is a good time when your tomatoes start getting, let's see, I don't want to drop this. When they start getting really soft like that, that's when you want to add your okra. Because we don't want the tomatoes to be still crunchy in here. We love the sweetness of the tomatoes. So we're gonna just add the okra. Now my okra has cooled, which is why I can touch it with my hand. So if you just took it out of the oven, please, please use your spoon. I'm just gonna get that okra in the pot. Something about touching your food, I don't know, just brings you, when you're eating a vegan diet or if you're a vegetarian, something about handling your food or growing your own food just brings you closer to nature. And when you know you're eating a cruelty-free diet and nobody got hurt in this meal, it makes me feel really good. So let's stir that okra around into our delicious mix. You want to stir it around good so that the flavor distributes evenly. Alright, let's cover that up and let it simmer. Let's give it, we're going to check on it in about 6 minutes. Okay, I just started stirring my stuff around and I gave it a taste test, and to be honest, it's missing a little something. So I'm going to add maybe about a teaspoon more of chili powder. There we go. And a dash more of curry powder. Not even much, just a dash. And I'm going to stir that in. And I'll add maybe a splash more water. You know how it goes when you're cooking. You just got to test it. I'm not about to serve anything, not even to myself, that I don't like 100%. It was just missing that extra kick. And I didn't want to add more salt. And you can add more salt, that's what you want to do, but I didn't want to do that. So just add some more of that of the base ingredients so the flavor can pop a little more. So this is pretty much done. I don't like my okra too soft. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes and it's ready to serve. Alright, so that is okra, Christine style. It's a little bit of curry, it's a little bit of Indian, it's a little, I don't know. All I know is that it tastes delicious. I decided to pair mine with some quinoa. You can find out how to make quinoa in another one of my videos if you're not familiar. But it's so delicious. I wouldn't eat this by itself. This okra needs to be sopped up with something. I mean, it's not really wet, but it's so flavorful. You want to share it with something else. So anyway, try it. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, and rate if you don't mind. And remember, you are special and you are loved. Peace.
That girl loved her meat, white, red, didn't matter, long as she had herself a big old platter. Well, one day as she's about to take a bite, her 2 friends look on in such a fright. Please, 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 don't eat the meat. That right there is our family.